Being human up here is one of the coolest things about this mission.
Brings you joy as a human. We're explorers at heart as human beings. We're doing our best to show it. Hope for humanity's future.
Great, like if we can unite the world. You know, it is weird when you're the four humans doing this. It's going to be unbelievable. There's beauty, but there's human elements too, and I just think it'd be fun to share in this human adventure. The key part of human exploration is the human and coming back and sharing the story.
This is the dichotomy of human spaceflight.
What is your message to all the kids watching and fascinated?
And then we as humans, even the four people up here doing this, humanity needs those contributions.
Trying to tell you, just trust me, in all of this emptiness, this is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. To remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together.
We get to live together on Earth, planet Earth. When I saw Earth for the first time on its own out the window, I was struck by the blackness around it. Sometimes when you first get up here, you have a little bit of a sensation that something's wrong. As soon as you wake up, maybe you're falling.
Up here, we can see a completely different Earth.
Looked different out the window, and that is wild. It just really put our place in the universe in perspective.
We are just people trying to get by.
This is what the Lord says. Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house you will build for me? Where will my resting place be? Though you soar like the eagle and make your nest among the stars, from there I will bring you down, declares the Lord. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens, I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit.
I was struck by the blackness around it. Sometimes when you first get up here, you have a little bit of a sensation that something's wrong. As soon as you wake up, maybe you're falling.
Space is so incredibly black, so incredibly dark. It's a bottomless pit.
Falling.
How does it feel to be the first humans to leave Earth's orbit in some 54 years?
We are definitely 100% on our way to the moon, but you could see the entire globe from pole to pole. You could see Africa, Europe, and if you looked really close, you could see the northern lights.
Yes.
There's just a moment of disbelief.
I know the United States has done this 1968 through 1972, but this is unbelievable. This is an unbelievable technical accomplishment.
What's it been like for you that this is your first mission there?
There has been a tremendous amount of disbelief for me.
Yeah, I mean, it really is unbelievable. It was unbelievable to watch. How do we feel about that?
Honestly, sometimes we weren't even sure that it was real.
It is hard to believe that this is really happening. It's really real, and that we are up here.
It's still difficult to believe that this is happening. Everything just floats, and sometimes that is really difficult to believe that it could actually be true.
How does it feel right now to be in a place that nobody has been since 1972?
Honestly, it is unbelievable that we in 1972, just being up here and seeing how difficult this is.
There's been a lot of disbelief up here, just the fact that what we're seeing, where we are, it's hard to wrap your mind around.
That is something we have never seen before. We must be, no kidding, like Reed said, somewhere between the Earth and the Moon, getting a view from a different place.
And the only way you could get that view is to be halfway between the two.
This is the only place that humans have outside of planet Earth where humans can live. And if you like, down there on Earth, you can actually see it with your naked eye. You just go to the ISS website and it tells you when to see us. You can look up in the sky and you will see this bright little star moving over the sky. And here we are, 6 humans on the International Space Station, the embassy of humankind out in space. You can look up in the sky and you can see that on many, many nights. And if you see it, think about that humans actually built this. There are right now 6 humans, soon only 3 humans up here. Give these guys a wave when you see them.
And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so.
I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, Let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness.
Taking pictures up here, especially outside, is quite complex. The weird part about it is space is so incredibly black, so incredibly dark. It's a bottomless pit of deep black, almost so deep it almost has a texture when you look at it. So incredibly black, so incredibly dark. It's a bottomless pit.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Bottomless pit.
That's what an orbit is. And that's why you need a rocket to get into orbit. You need to get yourself going so fast that as you fall back towards Earth, you keep missing it. So the astronauts are not weightless because there's no gravity in space. The astronauts are falling, the same way a skydiver is falling freely through space. It's just that they're going so fast, they keep missing the Earth.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon.
And then SpaceX is about helping make life multiplanetary and doing what we can to continue the dream of Apollo.
And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
We choose to go to the moon.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
So Jessica, a couple of quick questions here. This time you went up on the Dragon. How was it this time compared to your last trip up?
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
So the Soyuz and the Dragon are really different vehicles. You know, the Soyuz that I flew the first time, the Russian rocket and spacecraft, it's a very old, reliable system. It's been flying for decades and decades, and there have been some upgrades along the way. I think you asked how did I get up to the ISS and how long do I spend? And I came up here just like all the crew members since the space shuttle retired in 2011, but it's, you know, really like night and day from Dragon, because Dragon is this new modern machine. It's all touch screens and displays. There's no real instruments to fly with, there's no controllers that you can actually fly with versus the Soyuz. One of the big differences too, in the Soyuz you're covered by a fairing at launch, so you don't have a view until that fairing is exposed and you're in space. But in Dragon there are actually windows, so I couldn't see from my seat, but you can catch a glimpse from some of the other seats of lifting, coming off of the launch pad.
And 7 crowns upon his heads.
Seeing Florida below and waving at people like you that were there to support us. So there's also differences in the profile. You get about the same experience, about the same G, so the gravitational forces are about the same.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not.
God made the firmament, SpaceX trying to wreck it.
And there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great.
Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
So how does it feel to ride in a dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9?
Yeah, wow. I tell you, I don't know if there's words really to properly describe what that felt like. You know, you talk about sitting on a dragon on top of the beast, and it definitely was. You knew you were going somewhere, and this one was a little bit longer, so we actually had to live in dragon for quite a while.
Ride in a dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast. And, yeah, wow. Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast.
It's a bottomless pit.
In this abyss of darkness.
And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and as a molten looking glass?
Yeah, there it is.
You start looking around and there's so much stuff everywhere. It's a hoarder's paradise up here. You constantly are losing stuff. If I came up here to work and I'm working on the ceiling and then I put my drink bag down here and then I come over here and I'm on the floor working, or then I'm over here on this wall, I suddenly don't remember at all where I put my drink. I'm not sure where it went, and then you start looking around and there's so much stuff everywhere that you can't even find it for a while, and stuff just gets lost. It's amazing. You have to keep track of everything. You take your hand off something, it floats away in the ventilation and it's suddenly gone. It disappears instantly, and then out of nowhere it'll sometimes just come back and be floating right in front of your face again. I'm just like, I can't believe this is real life. I'm just kind of floating here, and I'm just like, I can't believe this is real life. I'm just kind of floating here, and everything just floats. And sometimes that is really difficult to believe that it could actually be true.
It almost doesn't seem real.
It's difficult to believe sometimes that it's actually happened. It's difficult to believe that it could actually be true. I didn't think that it would actually come true.
That it's hard to grasp it all.
I'll tell you, it is still difficult to believe that this is happening.
It almost didn't seem real.
And believing that it could happen just keeps getting better and better. It's difficult to describe exactly how it just feels different.
So, are cleaning up our urine and making it drinkable.
Guess what?
Honestly, sometimes we weren't even sure that it was real.
It is hard to believe that this is really happening. It's really real, and that we are up here.
We live in a really effed up world.
And it came to pass after this that I saw another host of wagons, and men riding thereon, and coming on the winds from the east, and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven remarked it. And the pillars of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound thereof was heard from the one end of heaven to the other in one day. Enoch chapter 57. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. 2 Peter 3:10. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the earth and the firmament of the heaven. Enoch chapter 18 verse 2. Rockets are weapons of worldwide destruction. Get ready for the firmament to depart and for darkness to come in. The devil has come down to the earth.
This time you went up on the Dragon. How was it this time compared to your last trip up?
This Dragon is this new modern machine. It's all touch screens and displays. There's no real instruments to fly with. There's no controllers that you can actually fly with versus the Soyuz.
So how does it feel to ride in a Dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9?
Yeah, wow. I tell you, I don't know if there's words really to properly describe what that felt like. You talk about sitting on a dragon on top of the beast, and it definitely was. You knew you were going somewhere, and this one was a little bit longer, so we actually had to live in Dragon for quite a while.
Ride in a Dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast. Yeah, wow.
When
people went out to do a spacewalk and then came back inside, I smelled the smell of cooking meat. It smelled like hamburger to me, which was so strange. So I would say space smells like hamburger.
The burnt steak and gunpowder smell that many astronauts report in the airlock, that's one of the few smells you can smell strongly. But
8-year-old nephew asked me what space smells of. Does it smell of anything?
You're inside the spaceship most of the time. The only time you could smell space is when you come back in from a spacewalk. And as you repressurize the airlock and open the hatch, there's a distinctive smell to it. And it smells a little bit like being on a shooting range, like that sort of lingering gunpowder cordite smell. So maybe a little bit like brimstone. That's what space smells like.
There's one smell up here that's really unique, though, and that is the smell. We just call it the smell of space, but we experience it when I haven't had a chance to do a spacewalk yet. I'm still waiting and hoping for that. But when other guys did and they came back in, after we repressurized and opened up the volume for them to come back into the station, there's this really, really strong metallic smell. And I don't know exactly what it is. We're not exactly sure what it is. It's a very distinct smell. It's the smell of space. It's really cool.
And when they come back into the space station, you get this very distinct, kind of sweet metallic smell is what I think of. I almost think, when you have a can of soup and you open the lid and that metal rubs against each other, there's a distinct odor to that. And that it was similar to that to me, as well as, and everybody's like, wow, that's two very different things, a can of soup to mildly overheating car radiator, But it is, it's like a sweet metallic smell.
And he said there was a very distinct odor. You come inside the airlock, you close the door to space, and you open the door to the spacecraft inside. When you enter that airlock, is what Sergey told me, it was the same smell on Mir as it was on the space shuttle. It doesn't last for long because that air starts to mix with the air in the cabin and the smell goes away. But on my first mission, I wanted to check this out. So sure enough, after the first spacewalk, I was not outside. I was inside for this first spacewalk, helping the guys outside. As soon as the spacewalk was over, I opened up the hatch. I went in there, started smelling. I've got a good nose for smelling. And it was this very metallic smell, almost like a burnt metal smell.
Maybe like burnt steak or some type of barbecue. When you come in from a spacewalk, you're surrounded by the emptiness of space. It's sort of like the opposite of air. There's nothing there at all. When you quickly repressurize the hatch and you open up the hatch and you smell, what is that lingering smell from a place that used to be exposed to space? The smell in there is a little bit like that trace of a smell of gunpowder or burnt steak, or to me it's sort of like brimstone, like a witch has just been there. It's a cool, lingering trace of a smell.
And he will imprison those angels who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown to me in the west, among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that valley, in which there was a great convulsion and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal and from the convulsion thereof in that place, there was produced a smell of sulfur.
To me, it's sort of like brimstone, like a witch has just been there.
And it was connected with those waters. And that valley of the angels who had led astray burned beneath that land. And through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where these angels are punished who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth for the healing of the body.
Sometimes it's as simple as changing out cartridges in an experiment that runs independently, but sometimes it's as involved in thawing out, human cells and providing them with a treatment and then incubating that and then sampling it and preserving it to return that science to Earth so the principal investigators can examine what they've learned by making use of this microgravity laboratory. So it really is, it's a whole lot of everything, which is really cool.
Serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, that they may be punished in their body. For they have denied the Lord of spirits, and see their punishment daily, and yet believe not in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before the Lord of spirits none shall utter an idle word, for the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body, and denied the Spirit of the Lord. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when those angels are punished in these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the angels ascend,
This time you went up on the dragon. How was it this time compared to your last trip up?
and when the angels ascend,
Dragon is this new modern machine. It's all touch screens and displays. There's no real instruments to fly with. There's no controllers that you can actually fly with.
this water of the springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, This judgment wherewith the angels are judged is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth, because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body. Therefore they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever.
What's been the moment up there that's made it all feel real?
Thanks for the question. I guess it never really feels real to be up here. It's such a surreal, awesome experience. Going through the training with Jessica and all of our colleagues has been awesome. Definitely in the last few months, as you're starting to do things for the last time on Earth before you come up to the space station, it starts to feel real. And that moment when we got into the Tesla and we drove to the rocket, and you're like, all right, this is real. We're in spacesuits. We are in the car. We're going to the launch pad.
Cameron.
Whilst in space, have you ever looked away from Earth into the black void?
Because you can see.
Everyone's watching just so many awesome moments along the way on such an incredible journey. I guess it never really feels real to be up here.
It's difficult to describe exactly how it just feels different. Everything just floats. And sometimes that is really difficult to believe that it could actually be true.
It almost doesn't seem real.
It's so amazing and such an incredible feeling that it's difficult to believe sometimes that it's actually happening. I didn't think that it would actually come true.
Honestly, sometimes we weren't even sure that it was real.
It is hard to believe that this is really happening. It's really real, and that we are up here.
It's fun to have an outrageous mustache when you can.
And my question for the Artemis 2 crew is, what did you do when the toilet broke? Did you just let it fly around?
We didn't let it, but sometimes it...
Well, the toilet is a very important piece of equipment in any spaceship, and we had two different things. At first, the toilet, when we first turned it on, the fan that actually keeps everything going where it needs to go didn't quite turn on. So we tried again, we gave it some time, and we got that working. But then you have to get rid of everything that you output, and we do that by venting it into space.
and I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it.
And we do that by venting it into space.
My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place. For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it, my secret place. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub and did fly, yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies.
And we do that by venting it into space.
He made darkness his secret place, and they shall pollute my secret place.
Come,
Let us build ourselves a city, and in it a strong tower, and its top reaching heaven.
And they began to make bricks and burn fires to build the city and the tower that they had imagined to complete. And the building of the tower was unto them a transgression and a sin. And they began to build it, and whilst they were building against the Lord God of heaven, they imagined in their hearts to war against him, and to ascend into heaven.
For America and a waiting world, integrity is 5.5 minutes away from coming home. Passing 100,000 feet now. Range to splash down 19 nautical miles.
All that energy you put in to get out to the moon, it's just the atmosphere that's going to dissipate that, and it's going to turn it all into heat. Friction, the furnace of friction.
Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and as a molten looking glass?
As you start to touch the atmosphere, the G's just slowly come on. The G's built up. We hit close to 4 G's a couple times on the reentry profile. You saw the plasma coming. For me, it started high and started coming down. It was red, but then it was green and bluish, and it was bright. It was like somebody was welding outside the capsule. I put my sun visor down. It was so bright.
Strong and as a molten looking glass.
I think it was intense. The heat, I mean, literally and figuratively intense. And we, in that blackout, not only do we lose the ability to communicate, we lose the ability for, mission control to command to the vehicle.
The blackness around Earth, our place in the universe.
We were just two different things keeping humans alive in the universe. It was an absolutely incredible human moment. We knew we were safe. We were in the capsule, completely relaxed. But when the humans opened that hatch,
yes,
and were the first to welcome us back to planet Earth, which we knew we had just come back to a planet because of what we just experienced.
Just immense gratitude for the trust in us.
It's just such a neat thing to see as a human being. And it kept 4 humans alive.
4 astronauts who made history, their bravery, and I just have to say tonight, they just seem like great human beings.
It was an absolutely incredible human moment. But when the humans opened that hatch,
Because space sleep is the best sleep ever. It's so peaceful, it's so comfortable.
But then we would also be remiss if we didn't thank the media, if we didn't thank the content creators.
Human beings.
As a human being.
human moment,
Human beings.
As a human being.
human moment.
Human beings.
But when the humans opened that hatch,
And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty.
but when the humans opened that hatch,
The moment, well, first of all of the things. That was a very intense 13 minutes and 36 seconds. That moment was when the drogues released, and then the pilot chutes and the mains came out. In Dragon,
The dragon,
I've experienced a similar entry, and in Dragon, the drogue chutes don't release the same way. And
So Jessica, a couple of quick questions here. This time you went up on the Dragon. How was it this time compared to your last trip up?
So the Soyuz and the Dragon are really different vehicles. You know, the Soyuz that I flew the first time, the Russian rocket and spacecraft, it's a very old, reliable system. It's been flying for decades and decades, and there have been some upgrades along the way. But it's, you know, really like night and day from Dragon, because Dragon is this new modern machine.
The Dragon.
It's all touch screens and displays. There's no real instruments to fly with, there's no controllers that you can actually fly with versus the Soyuz. One of the big differences too, in the Soyuz, you're covered by a fairing at launch, so you don't have a view until that fairing is exposed and you're in space. But in Dragon, there are actually windows.
The Dragon.
So I couldn't see from my seat, but you can catch a glimpse from some of the other seats of lifting, coming off of the launch pad and seeing Florida below and waving at people like you that were there to support us.
I just want to say 100% point blank, that was a wonderful toilet. The toilet worked great. Where we had an issue, and it was an issue for sure, is that our primary vent line, which takes, you know, when you go to the bathroom at the end of doing that, you flush the toilet flushed just fine, but then when the liquid went out the bottom of the toilet, it got clogged up in our vent line, and our tank can only hold about, you know, maybe I'm guessing like under 10 urination events, I guess that tank can hold, and then it's got to be dumped. And for the first 2 days of the mission, it was fun to watch that thing get dumped. I mean, that is an interesting thing to see out the window. It's just like a billion little tiny flecks of ice heading out into deep space.
Wherefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, surely because thou hast defiled my sanctuary with all thy detestable things and with all thine abominations,
then it's got to be dumped.
Therefore will I also diminish thee. Neither shall mine eyes spare, neither will I have any pity.
Urination events. It was fun to watch that thing get dumped.
I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary.
Then it's got to be dumped.
It's a bottomless pit.
So how does it feel to ride in a dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9?
Behold an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
You talk about sitting on a dragon on top of the beast, and it definitely was. You knew you were going somewhere.
Shall be carried as the wind upon earth.
And this one was a little bit longer, so we actually had to live in dragon for quite a while.
Ride in a dragon on top of the beast.
Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast.
and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their host shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
Good, it's about to fall on top of us.
That's crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Well, we all love getting our hands on cameras and our eyes behind the lens here because we're just trying to share the incredible things that we're seeing, and that's obviously the best way we can try to do that. But having to set the low light features for Earth shine on the moon while it's in eclipse, that was a new one. I had to dig deep in my book for that one.
And thanks for the iPhones. They've been working great.
Very glad to hear that, and there are a couple billion people back here on Earth that are extremely excited to look at the imagery you've captured up there.
What? No soup for you!
And I truly cannot believe it. You are quite literally on the way to the moon right now.
Just the three-dimensionality of it, you know from your experience of seeing the Earth from space, how it just seems different. And you look out in depth of things, and when we were on the far side of the moon looking back at Earth, it was just so obvious you had this sphere out in front of you of the moon and this three-dimensional. You really felt like you weren't in a capsule. You'd been transported to the far side of the moon, and it really just bent your mind. It was an extraordinary human experience.
In the Apocalypse of Abraham, in chapter 31, it says, "And then I will sound the trumpet out of the air, and will send mine elect one, having in him all my power, one measure. And this one shall summon my despised people from the nations. And I will burn with fire those who have insulted them and who have ruled among them in this age. And I will give those who have covered me with mockery to the scorn of the coming age. And I have prepared them to be food for the fire of Hades, and for ceaseless flight to and fro through the air in the underworld beneath the earth."
This time you went up on the Dragon. How was it this time compared to your last trip up?
Dragon is this new modern machine. It's all touch screens and displays. There's no real instruments to fly with. There's no controllers that you can actually fly with.
Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.